top,
Dude,
so
this
that
is
gives it a nice colour.
amazing.
Cool.
No,
With the lime too, bro. With the lime, a little bit of
Red
ice,
leg.
not bad, man.
Okay.
It's fucking amazing.
I'll read
Yeah.
out the front label, right? Okay,
Yeah. Oh my god, I love red wine.
no. Here's a rundown.
Christina Ray. And he's back.
Fuck off. I'm into rum now. Fuck red wine. No, but this is red leg distilled in the Caribbean. What does it say? Infused with
Did he do this last time?
vanilla
But with
ginger.
red wine?
I'm just describing what's on the bottle.
Just
It's
reading the ingredients,
infused with
even though it's his
vanilla-
first time drinking it. Oh.
Vanilla, yeah. Infused with vanilla, ginger, and caramelized pineapple. And then you got lime, and then obviously
weird, the
whatever.
pineapple.
That's what's getting you.
I feel like you'd play Kumbaya and drink that drink around the fire, eh?
It's very nice.
But
You'd be rapping kumbaya to that shit.
yeah, man.
That's a rap.
That's a rap.
Oh my god.
Dudes of the round table.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
Come on down.
I don't know how the thing
Yeah.
Is this actually you starting the episode?
This
or
is
is
us
this
starting
just
the
you?
episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bit
This is
different.
how we do.
This is
This is what happens when I come
What
here.
up, what up, what up, what up, listeners? We are
Hey.
back. Dudes Around the Table, episode
34.
We are in the house.
3-3.
Absolutely. Back with the weird, the wonderful, and everything in between, but we got something extra
Extra
juicy.
Yes, sir.
For a second time round.
Yeah.
Because it was that juicy the first time.
Round 2.
That sounds weird. I'm going to stop saying that.
Please don't refer to me as juicy.
Yeah, that's weird. That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
Well, I mean, it was the first thing that came to my head. I'm sorry.
I know I'm weird and wonderful, but that's,
If this was a game of Mortal Kombat, you'd be selecting this player again for round 2
That's better.
with Drake. Drop the bomb.
There we go.
Brianna, what's up, the queen? How are you?
The Queen
thank
of
you.
Clairvoyance.
Thank you
There
for
go. How cool
thank
is
you
that?
for
Absolutely love that.
coming back.
Good intro, guys. Jesus, I'm like a bit flattered over here.
Yeah,
It's great to have you back.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks for having me back.
What's been happening?
Oh, what's not been happening,
Yeah.
Jake? Seriously, what's not been happening?
So much in the last year.
Absolutely.
I think we've got a few things we want to whip out of the books, eh, bro?
Oh, absolutely. This is a little bit of cue, then the now.
Just a recap, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a recap
Yeah.
for the lovely listeners.
I'm here for it.
Unfortunately, not the viewers, because the viewers, we didn't have cameras back then. You know, this was back in the
Yes.
1920s when we didn't have
This
cameras.
was the Stone
Was that
Age era
before
of the
cameras were
dudes.
invented? I don't know.
It was back before we had the tables.
Yeah, that was more like
Yeah, you were
the,
dudes at the round table without a round table.
I think it was dudes of the Stone Age. We didn't have a camera. Jesus Christ.
What were we recording on?
Yeah, rocks.
Yeah, that bed felt like a rock. Eh? That couch bed to sit on. Get up, my back would be all
Yeah.
screwed. Like,
I actually feel like I remember that.
Yeah. She's like, I remember the back pain.
Heard for a
grown
few
2
days.
inches literally since then. Thank God you got rid of that bed.
A lot's changed since then, except the only thing that hasn't changed is Jake's moustache. So there you go.
I know, he's
Yeah,
still
I mean,
rocking it.
I've gained about 8 hairs. So that's all right. It's all good.
Yeah, it's rare.
He's
That's
becoming
growth.
a man.
It's looking it's looking extra gingery, eh? Well, I'll just go fuck myself, man.
Yeah,
And thanks for coming on the episode tonight, guys.
that's all we have.
Yeah, that's all we got.
For our listeners and for the viewers that have watched the Soundwave video that we've got on the YouTubes, we've got the lovely Brie back on from episode 6, I believe it was.
Wow, was
8,
it really
I think.
8?
Hey,
Okay.
yeah.
Mine-
I don't
I
even
can't
know our
count.
episodes. Yeah.
It's your show.
I can't count. We're at. This
It was
is episode
before 10,
33.
so-
It
Okay.
was definitely in the first 10, absolutely.
Anything
Chris?
before 30, I can't remember.
Okay, so that's like all of them.
It was 3 episodes ago.
Literally, eh?
As we'd probably say, was it in the cringe era or not? No,
Yeah, I know.
no way.
No, this is her episode is what got us out
Yeah.
of the cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the reason why we actually got a table and got cameras and upgraded our
Oh,
stuff because
stop.
we realised we had to take this stuff seriously.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Love it.
That we do.
No, but Brie, welcome back. This is an absolute pleasure having you on again.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh, that's awesome. Where should we start, man?
Well, firstly, we just want to say thank you for having us on recently on your podcast.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
A bit of an
Absolutely.
interesting. I know these boys have been on a podcast before. I
Yeah.
have not, so it was very.
You broke Ray's going on a podcast virginity.
Ooh. Actually, it was my first time having guests as well. So there you go. There's
Oh.
a few firsts.
Two birds, one
Nice.
stone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hello.
Yep. Lovely.
But no, firstly, I want to ask a quick question, and you got me a little excited when you came into the studio today.
Always.
What's your stance on wine now? Because you hated it back then. You were like,
I
it tastes
like
shit, but
I
you brought us
like white wine. I like white wine.
So you drink the worst one.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't like I like sweet wine. So like if you think about
Okay, yeah, Moscato.
fan, yeah.
yeah, like I bought red wine for you guys because I know that you always love it and you drink it. And you mentioned about like, you know, as you get older, like your taste changes. But like, yeah, I'm still set that wine's shit.
You're still young as shit though.
I'm still,
You wait till you get to 30, then it'll probably change.
Look, let's be
Yeah.
honest. If you can drink it and then turn it into a pillow, it's shit. Like going back.
Or is it?
I mean, it is a good neck support if you're stuck, stranded, and there's no Ubers around. But I don't want to get into that
pillows that we're
conversation.
talking about, Jake?
Yeah.
That was a
Have me on in 5 years and ask me then,
was a
because
tough
then
one.
I'll be 30 and I'll let you know. Yeah, we'll revisit that one.
Okay.
Jake will be 30. You both will be 30 then.
We will.
Don't
96
remind me, man.
babies.
Jeez, we'll be pushing. closer
Hey, you're
to
already
40.
25. I'm still got a couple of weeks to go.
remind me.
We
Yeah,
never
like
left.
so like Ray was saying to you earlier, Bree, you know, the podcast is just absolutely phenomenal. It's great. I've been listening to it a lot lately, and like Chris was saying too, as well as Ray was saying, the rawness behind the last few episodes,
Yeah.
especially, I've just like not only the fact that I've got the pleasure of knowing you as a person
Yeah.
outside the pod world, but I just felt like I could connect with you in more of a emotional way. I found that it was really surreal to have that experience, and like when I'm listening to your episodes, like where do you see yourself going with the episodes in the future? Like, do you want to still keep the rawness all the time, or would you want to kind of bring guests on and
Yeah.
and have more connections with the guests and stuff, or how, like where do you see it?
I do. I'd love to have a good balance between the two. I think it was really important at the start to kind of like introduce myself to that world, and just like, you know, people they want to listen, but they want to know like, okay, well, what do you have to offer as a person before I invest my time in like, you know, following your story and following your guests and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think it was just building that up, and they, you know, like talking to Spirit and everything from the start, they were like, you've got to tell this story properly. Like you have to, like, you can't tiptoe around this shit. You don't do it in real life, so don't do it on your podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, it needed to be that way. It's interesting though about you saying having guests, because I actually was a guest on another podcast. It's the Boss Babes Club
I listened to that
Right.
episode.
Yeah, I seen
with
that, yeah,
Riley. So I read Riley and her housemate Casey one night. I read them back to back. It was crazy, and we had the coolest experience. But she recorded that reading and actually added snippets of that into the episode.
Oh wow.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it was so crazy. I remember I was sweating listening to this. I'm like, oh my God, this is actually the first time I've ever heard myself during a reading. I've never heard that in all the readings I've done. And I've done
Okay.
over 100 by this stage. So I'm thinking like in the future, would I read somebody on air? Would that happen? Like maybe.
Yeah.
That kind of just,
That
I
would make
guess.
a very interesting pod, I reckon.
Yeah,
I
just
reckon that'd be
opening
pretty
up
incredible.
to thinking about it. So that's, something I'd like to, look at incorporating into it in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that'd be pretty
I
exciting
do-
to watch and
yeah.
listen to. Yeah.
I want to have guests on as well, but I'm just looking at like, what do I actually want to get out of it? Like, do I want to talk about just mediumship? Do I want to talk about self-development?
Yep.
How can I incorporate like both of those into it? So that's
Yeah.
something I'll have to have a think about before I have guests on, and obviously work on my computer, like my technological skills as well. Because like I can't rely on Ray like for everything. Like I practically have him on speed dial at this point for how much
It's
I'm
all right.
like,
It's all good,
Like
you know?
I fucked up again, Ray. Like I need your help. So I
Called the
can't.
Simmons helpline.
Like he is my helpline. Like I can't.
1-800 help Ray.
I still remember like when you like messaged me like, I need help, I'm stressing out. I'm like, what have you done?
Deleted
It's
my
like,
whole episode.
I deleted the whole episode. I just recorded it, and it was a good one.
It was such a good episode.
I remember it fondly because I just got my stand-up desk.
Yeah.
And I was every hour I was changing from standing to sitting to standing to sitting, so I could like move more. And I just remember like one phone call would be standing, one phone call would be sitting, one phone call would be standing.
I was on the
one
phone to you
call
about
would
4
be sitting.
times that day. Like, yeah, literally. This was supposed to be a good, like, a quick episode, knock it out, get it out, and it ended up taking like, oh God, how long to fix? Like 2 hours?
Oh, wow.
So,
A few phone calls.
Yeah, it ended up being a few phone calls, but then it was a really easy fix.
It was easy in the end, but it was just getting there was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, thanks for the
But-
shout out, too, on the podcast you did. Was
Oh.
it did you call it the Boss Bitch?
The Boss Babes
Boss
Club.
Babes. Sorry.
We are boss bitches, yes, but
Hell
it's
yeah.
called the Boss Babes Club
Yeah,
podcast.
the girls.
And yeah, well, you guys started this for me. Like realistically, this was my introduction. I just started thinking like, going back like over a year, like, man, I should start a podcast. And then Jake comes up to me and goes, "Oi, Brie, I started the podcast. You going to be on it?" I was like, "Yes, I am."
Yeah.
And that
I was so stoked that you said yes because I was like,
Yeah.
she's not going to say yes. She's not going to say yes.
dude, that
She just want to hang out with us, man.
fucking oath, like that started it for me. Like that was amazing. Like, yeah,
It's like your first tattoo.
it is. Like that marks the start of that journey.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah.
I think
And look
that's
where you are now.
I think that's
Awesome. Yeah, fucking
like we
hell.
can definitely relate to you on that too, Brie. You know, when me and Chris did our first episode with the Childhood Buds back in 2019,
Jinx.
that was
Jinx.
under roof back to you. It was a really cool experience, and it made us go, we could do this.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome, and it's easy.
Yeah.
And you know, and then look at us now.
It kind
Still
of just
trying to
helps
figure it
you. No, but
What does this
it's
button do?
it kind of just helps you get that thought out of your head and actually look at it in front of you and go, okay, well, why can't I do this? Like it eliminates that fear factor, I think, when you
Oh.
take that first step in, doesn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
Did you
It's
find?
great. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
find after you did your first episode too, where you're like,
Oh my God.
I've got this, or like,
No.
ooh, I don't know how I
No.
feel about this.
Not at all. But first of all, I've never said the word so many times in my life. And I apologize to everybody who had to listen to that shit.
Yeah, don't
But-
worry, we all go through
Yes,
that
cringe
stage.
episodes too.
Every episode's a learning curve too, you know.
One
like-
of
But
us.
no, it was weird because I felt like it would be this massive release and it would be so cool to get it out there. And then when I did, I thought, shit, I actually have to talk about this now. Like I actually have to give people the raw information that I am still coming to terms with myself, especially like when it comes to like dealing with grief and then dealing with mental illness and then mediumship. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I-
it's
How
a
do
big
I-
shopping cart full of categories.
Yeah,
I
isn't
think
it?
that's a really interesting way to go about a podcast. Like, not, looking at someone who, say 15, 20 years or like from now, looking at yourself, you're doing it while you're going through this and learning all this.
Yes.
I think it's a really cool aspect
Yep.
to get into and go, okay, this person's learning all this and they're sharing with this at the same time,
Yeah.
rather than someone who's been doing what you've been doing for a
Yes,
long period of time,
yes.
then sharing their wisdom. Like, it's cool to
Yeah.
look at it from that aspect.
People
while you're learning
relate to it
yeah.
more, I think, because then I've had so many people reach out to me since then, and they've kind of said like, I'm going through the same sorts of things because I'm talking about the struggle because I'm still going through the struggle.
Dealing with it, yeah.
I'm not looking at
Yep.
it and saying I did that. It's over. Let's not talk about it because
Yeah.
that's not realistic.
Because like you
Yeah.
said too, when you're talking about something that may have happened years ago or maybe a couple months ago, it's
Yeah.
like you can sugarcoat certain topics about that actual conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas in, like you said, when you're dealing with it and in recent terms, it's so more, it's authentic, but it's very raw at the same time.
is.
Yeah.
It's fresh.
And like you said, it's relatable and it's
Yeah.
enjoyable to listen to because it's like we're a part of your journey. You
Yeah,
know? So
yeah.
it's like it's pretty badass to see that you're doing the similar thing as us. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's really cool, and I'm proud of you. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we're
man.
all very proud of you, Bree. It's
Thanks,
excellent.
you guys. That's really
Keep
awesome.
bringing on the content too, as it's great.
I will do my best.
Now, I have one thing to bring up from our previous episode.
Yeah?
With yourself. I remember you mentioning in the last episode with being a young kid that you always felt when you were trying to have a conversation with someone, you kind of found yourself kind of either shut off or
Yeah,
kind of
looking
through them and stuff, and
Yes.
like I think, not gonna lie, I kind of still do that to this day as an adult, but
Yeah.
in certain topics or certain conversations, especially if I don't fully understand where they're trying to go with their conversation.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, you found yourself like easily distracted or
Yeah.
kind of looking through people when you're having a conversation, right? But
Yeah.
do you find when like being a medium
Mm-hmm.
and then seeing the younger youth nowadays, like especially if you've got nieces or nephews, for example, or cousins or something, little cousins, do you find that you can sort of see similar traits when you're having a conversation with
Yeah.
them? But do you also feel like maybe they could be experiencing what you're experiencing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you feel about going about the actual topic and the conversation of mediumship to children? Like, do you feel like it needs to be talked more about?
Yes,
Good question.
absolutely.
That's
That's
a
a
great
great
point, Jay,
question. Yeah. I feel like if this was something that I was at least aware of, like you didn't have to force the knowledge down my throat like you did, I'm talking about schools here, like
Yeah,
religion and other topics like that and science and things that I don't necessarily resonate with. If I could have just been aware of this at that age, at least I would have an answer.
Right.
Because, from a young age and coming from like a bit, a mentally ill background, you kind of just think, I need a diagnosis. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why am I like this? No one else could feel the way I do in public. Surely not.
Yeah.
And to discover mediumship, I remember having a reading with someone at the start and they'd known me for years. And she said, that's the most comfortable I've ever seen her be. and I'm sitting at 1,000 fucking hertz frequency with spirit.
Yeah.
And that's the most comfortable I've been. Like, why have I not been doing this for my whole life? Why did I discover this at 22 years old?
Yeah, right.
You know,
weren't meant
22
to.
years of that.
That's your path, that was meant to happen at that
Yeah,
time.
of course.
I mean, absolutely. And with Izzy passing, obviously, like that was the inevitable factor. But I just think, educating kids at a younger age, at least that this is something that exists, whether or not you choose to believe it, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like anything else, skepticism is a huge part of life. And I can appreciate it and respect it. But it's a massive, massive part of people's life. Their spiritual development, in my opinion, is just as important as their emotional and their physical development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Definitely.
I think teaching kids this stuff at a young age would probably help a lot, especially when it comes to them getting older and facing those challenges and things like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it just
Make
gives
it
them that strong
yeah.
foundation, I
Holy
think.
shit. That's a good question, Jack. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great question.
And
No
it
one's
does make
ever
you
asked me
think,
that.
like, you do. I've thought about this too, myself. Like, I do feel for kids that are going through these weird spiritual happenings in their
Yeah.
life, and they have
Yeah.
no one to talk to. Their parents might be heavily religious, maybe,
Yes.
or they just don't believe in it.
Or
and think,
very
this is
scientific.
all make believe. You're just making this up. And these
Yeah.
kids are going through like this traumatic, where they're being bombarded by spirits or whatever coming
That
through,
constant overwhelm.
and they've got no one to talk to, and they don't know what's going on. But
Absolutely.
with
But
more
maybe-
open-minded people around
Yeah.
them, that could rear them up to know what's
Yes.
going on. Like,
Yeah.
and I do feel for those kids. Sorry, Ray.
Where
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
conditioning kind of comes in
Yeah.
as well. It's like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, going to mom and dad and saying, hey, like, I can hear these things, I can see these things,
Yeah.
like, and I don't understand it. Please help me understand it, because
Yeah.
that's your world, that's your person that
Absolutely.
you go to make sense of everything
Yeah.
that's around you at that age. And then they're going, no, look, it's all in your head. You're making it up. It's a make believe friend
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
imaginary friend or whatever it is. And then that's just the same as a school system and stuff like that, where it's just compounding you into this tiny little box.
But
you
why
know?
do you think that kids are so intuitive? You hear so many things about kids seeing spirit and being intuitive. It's because they haven't had time to develop a strong ego yet.
Yes.
There's nothing standing in their way of spirit.
Yeah.
Ego
Yeah.
is one of the biggest
Yeah.
blocks between
The
spirit.
innocence almost,
the mental
yeah.
body.
It is.
It absolutely is. And
Yeah.
that's, like I can't speak for other people, but I know that, if and when I have kids and they come up to me and say, oh, I can see this, and I'm not going to say, oh, that's not, I'm going to say, well, what does it look like?
Yeah.
What do they say to you? What do they
Encourage.
sound like? How do
Yeah.
they
Encourage
feel?
it. Yeah.
Way to go about it.
Encourage that spiritual development and just offer that understanding from a young age, where if they want to dive into this, they understand what's happening and that they have the support. That's
That's
it.
it. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
They
that
haven't-
should be enough.
Pureness and like innocence where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
haven't been stomped on yet by the realities of adulthood.
I look at them, I'm like, you fuckers, you wait.
It's funny when kids say, I can't wait till I'm an adult, and then you're an adult, you're like, why the fuck did I say that?
Why did I? Yeah.
I have to say though, like on that part of like kids growing up now and hopefully having more encouragement around being able to express that side of them and
Yeah.
talk about that and
Yeah.
I guess feed down that path as well, instead of having it compounded down and then completely shut off like most adults have been.
Yeah.
This is as screwed up as the world is at the moment. It might be probably a very good time for that change to kind of start to happen.
Yeah.
It
We've
is.
seen a
Couldn't agree
lot
with
of
you more on
other
that, man.
very
It is.
in different areas of
Yeah.
that similar kind of change and acceptance kind of come in.
Yes.
Yes.
I
There
think-
are theories about this, though, about the awakening and how we've been building up to this for years. And I feel like there was some attempt from Spirit years ago, but it was, came down to the fact that we weren't, as a whole, as a collective, we weren't quite ready.
No.
No.
And so I feel like this shifting that's going on at the moment, whether people are aware of it or not, is us kind of gearing up to go again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel that. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, we need it. We need it now more than ever.
Yes.
So,
We need a massive spiritual awakening now more than
yeah,
ever.
we need it. Like, get on board,
Intervention
peeps.
more than anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's people like me that are going to be able to help those younger ones when they come up and they say, oh, I'm feeling this and this. And I do it now. I do it people my age. They're like, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, yeah, go on then.
Speaking of that, helping the youth as well as helping people in general with this amazing talent you have, Bree. I remember you were saying that you have a really personal connection and close friendship with your mentor,
Yeah.
right? And I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about mentorship? And I mean, obviously, by what you just said before, I can see that's maybe something you want to look into in the near future, or maybe
Like being a mentor?
Being a mentor, yeah, as well as still
Yeah,
pursuing the mediumship
yeah.
side of things. But yeah, do you feel like you want to be a mentor?
It's interesting that you say it, because the amount of people that I come across, and they'll just be drawn to me and need answers from me. I kind of think I need to sit you all down together as a group and explain it once.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's
instead
it.
of just like, okay, what do you want now? Okay, what are you dealing with? Okay, like, because I have people message me all the time, I'm seeing this, and it's just, I love it and I love to help people, but it's just like, okay, like, come on, guys, like, you know, like, I've done this before.
Yeah.
We've been over this. I had to start a podcast because of how many questions I got asked.
Get it? Yeah.
So it is something I would consider. I just would have to figure out how to go about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In a more time effective way.
Yes. Yes. And maybe with a little bit more softness to me.
Okay.
You know, the brutal honesty only goes so far. Where people are sensitive, and when it comes to their spiritual development, they are very sensitive and very vulnerable. So you need to go about it in a different way.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
Speaking
once
of,
I get
like-
that, yeah.
Sorry, I was speaking of like help and guidance through what you do. Your help from Izzy. How is everything going with Izzy?
Oh.
Have you been in contact with her fairly
Oh,
recently?
of course I have. Every
Yes.
bloody day.
She just mentioned it just before we got on,
Every
on the
bloody
air.
day.
Yeah.
She was like, Izzy, help me out with this one.
Oh yeah.
And
Always. Yeah.
like, I thought she was talking to me and then she said Izzy and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. No.
Because I
No.
know we talked about it a lot on the last
Not you guys.
podcast when you first came on. And
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how is she doing now and
Mm-hmm.
how she's helped you recently.
The relationship has been really funny. Like, I've got to say, like, at the start, it was, you know, it went from being overwhelming love to frustration on her behalf because of my, like doubt, I guess, and lack of belief. She'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, you know I'm here, man. Like, I'm not kidding. That's
She's straight
how
up.
the reaction was.
But that's how she was in real life.
And
Yeah,
now,
definitely.
and now that I've gotten onto that, I've finally gotten to that place where I recognize, I acknowledge, and I trust that connection that we have. It's turned a little bit soft again. And it's really sweet because she's done things lately that she just would not have done before. You know, she would talk to me from afar and I would hear it and I would be able to comprehend it. But lately, especially in the last few months, she'll do this thing to me where she'll send me the impression of her wrapping her arms around me from behind and just hugging me. And I just feel the weight on my body, and it's just such a nice feeling to feel that. Yeah, she's been doing things like that. She's like, all right, well, she's finally figured out that I'm fucking here. So I'm just going to pull on those heartstrings as much as I can so that
love
we
that.
don't lose that.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Constant
it's
reminders.
she
Yeah.
for the first time, I think it would be since we did the episode, I used to wear a locket that had her ashes in it. And I was taking my other necklace off one day and it popped open and spilt those ashes all over my carpet.
Oh gosh.
And I remember straight away, because obviously she knew she's about to freak out. Straight away she goes, it's okay, dude, I'm still here. You know I'm still here. And I was just like, yeah, but that fucking sucks. And a couple of days later, I'm sitting outside just in front of the rose I have planted for her. And I'm just like feeling a bit down about that because like that was my, you know, I'd had that on me for a few years. I
Yeah,
had
of
never
course.
taken it off. Maybe that was the problem. I'd never taken it off. And all of a sudden, for the first time ever, she's manifested in front of me through my third eye in physical form.
Oh, wow.
Right in front of me. And that doesn't happen. That's only happened with me in spirit 2 or 3 times. Because,
Right.
you know, not all mediums can work that way. I work with the background images in my head
Yeah.
and the references and things. I don't usually see things in physical form. It's very cool if you do. But she's standing there in front of me, whipping her hair back and forth, like, I'm here. And it was just, I feel like it was just her way of validating, like, you don't need those ashes to
Yeah.
have this presence.
Right.
It's a physical thing, and our connection is not a physical thing. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a representation of the love, but it's not the be all end all. I'm still here.
That's incredible.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Oh, I got
I tell you
goosebumps
what.
talking
Yeah,
about
I just
that.
got like tingles.
Do you know what? That experience was so cool because I never wanted her to go away because she was standing right in front of me. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen you like this in years. I spent so much time focusing on that through my third eye that I was crying and I didn't even know.
Really?
I've come out of it, and not only was my friend knocking at the door, like I'm at your house, man, like because you told me to come over for like 10 minutes, but I'm actually crying. I went, oh fuck, because I just wanted to sit there with her.
Oh, that's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my
just
goodness.
yeah. So the relationship it's intensified, I guess, if anything.
Yeah.
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 You know, it's we've come a long way together, and I'm very grateful that I can still have this with her, and she's, you know, reassured me like it's not going away. Like I don't know why you'd think it would, because sometimes you feel that doubt. You know, you tend to think that those really good things will be like temporary.
Yeah.
So that's the connection's been amazing and amplified even in the last year. So yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah,
Amazing.
incredible,
Yeah.
loving it, love my girl.
Yeah, that just gave me like chills here and there. So that's,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
You guys
to-
have chills. I'm sweating like
It's just these lights. It's okay.
like geez.
But no, it's been a long time coming. And we finally made it happen.
Yes.
We had you on again. To
Absolutely.
do a quick then and now.
Yep,
I
loving
hope
it.
everyone here has got off their chest what they wanted to get off their chest. I hope all the listeners have enjoyed the hell out of this. Any final words from you? What's coming up in the future for the wonderful world of Brianna?
I have lots going on. I feel like at this point in time, like I went hard with readings just to prove to myself that I could do it. I've done 150 of them now.
Wow.
150 readings
Oh my
in just under
goodness.
3 years. Yeah. I feel like as weird as it is that I need to take a step back from the spiritual side, and my intellectual mind needs engaging now, and my physical body needs the work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
honestly, all I've been doing at the moment, I've been doing heaps of yoga because I'm loving it, the way it makes me feel. I picked up an awesome job that will test my intellectual ability, which I'm so excited for because like my
Okay,
brain needs
cool.
it. And I'm doing a diploma in counselling so I can try and help people in another way besides as a medium.
Yep.
So just exploring different avenues, I guess, and, you know, working on me rather than giving so much energy outwards. As much as I love it,
Right.
it's not sustainable for somebody in my position. I feel like I need a little bit of work, you know, myself. So
Yeah.
Build
That's-
yourself up.
That's
yeah,
amazing. No,
I'd
that's
love
good.
to still do that. I've still got 15 people on my wait list. My wait list has been present since December.
Oh, wow.
Since December, I haven't had nobody on that list. And like, it's going to be the death of me. I'm convinced it's going to be the death of me, but I will do my best to get through what I've got left. But I think I'll close my books at the moment just to get my head around everything.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
Get,
Yeah,
in,
fair
get
enough.
into
Yeah.
routine and then figure out, okay, I can read these people and I can do it at this time. But for now, I think I need the help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that's beautiful that you're
Yeah.
ready to take a step into self-investment, and
Have to.
I'm looking forward to this journey, bro. It's gonna be
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
well, you guys are along for the ride as
Hell
always.
yeah, I
So absolutely. So
Oh.
yeah.
Any last, like, quick final words of wisdom before you go?
Oh geez.
Since last time.
Yeah.
I don't even know. What did I say last time besides hating wine?
Ooh.
I can't even remember. It all seems so long ago now.
Did we even ask words of wisdom?
I don't
I'm
think
sure.
we did.
I'm sure
We did
would've.
actually do something at the end,
It was something.
and it was really
Oh.
sweet.
Yeah.
It was like a really nice message, but I don't remember it now.
So we don't remember, listeners, but
Yeah, just play that one again.
We'll
Same
get back.
thing.
We'll get back to that one. But
Yeah.
That's a whole
Did you
29
write it down?
episodes
I
ago.
don't know.
Yeah, why didn't we write this down, guys? Come on, like who dropped the ball here?
That's
But
right.
no, for all our listeners out there and watchers, if you are interested in learning more about Brie and what she does and how she goes about doing things and wanting to give advice on how she does and and portrays all this stuff, check out her podcast. It's fantastic. It is called Life of a Millennial Medium,
Sure is.
and you can find it on where, Brie?
So I'm on Spotify and I'm on Podbeam at the moment, and you can find the link if you can find my Instagram. You can find the link in my bio.
Beautiful.
Boom.
we'll make sure to put that those links on the page.
In the show notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again, Queen, for coming back.
Thank
Thank
so
Bree.
you.
Yes. And
Thanks, guys.
we're
Pleasure.
looking forward to see what the next year brings.
Absolutely. We'll do this again.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah.
If you like this episode,
Definitely.
like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next one.
Swipe up, swipe up, swipe up.
Dudes, signing off.
Thank you.
Swipe up.
Peace.
See ya.
Swipe up.